Good morning, Jackie.
Hello, Nadine. Look at this beautiful spring morning. Spring, I think summer's finally here. What would you say? No?
Oh, absolutely. I'm all week sunbathing and I'm just so in awe with the flowers sprouting and coming up and with everything else that I've going on. That's like just where do you focus at? And even though I have like this magnet of drawing my attention to something less loving than spring, but it's my choice that I always can recalibrate, refocus. I think I'm gone. Can you hear me? There we go. And spring, and I was looking at it. So there was winter, there was like, and now the how is it called? The when the before the flowers come, the small thing, how is it called?
The buds.
Not the bugs.
No,
When the flower, like before it opens.
it's a bud.
Like so, sorry?
It's a bud, isn't it? The bud
Bud?
of a flower. Bud, B-U-D.
Oh, well, maybe. So I learned something. Thank you. Always learning new things. So it just sees how much prosperity is ready to sprout, ready to flourish, ready to show its full beauty.
Yeah.
And so over the last 2, 3 days, it was sprouting all around. And then every flower, every tree has its own time and readiness. And you just see how from nothing there is this full potential that
Mm-hmm.
suddenly opens up.
Exactly.
And when we remember what Napoleon Hill said in Think and Grow Rich, when riches comes, it comes in such a massive, I'm paraphrasing, I don't remember exactly, it comes so massively that you don't have no idea how it even got here and how it comes. And that's how what I see in the flowers, there's this little thing just waiting. And when the time comes, it just opens and suddenly it's there in its full pride and full colors and it's so natural.
Absolutely. Well, this is it. And this is
Ah,
where we have to look at the law of rhythm. We've gone through winter and it was dreary and it was dark early. We had some bright days to keep you going, and the trees were bare. There were no leaves on it and there were no flowers. And now you have a look, and I just need to look at the big chestnut tree in front of me there and the little buds. That's what they call, Nadine. The little buds, the new shoots are all coming out. And that's exactly what you're saying. Look at how abundant this world can be. Focus on the beauty of it. Focus on the abundance and the prosperity that's right here in front of you. Nature teaches us so many lessons.
absolutely.
Mm,
So beautiful.
beautiful. So with that, we're going to continue to read You Too Can Be Prosperous. It's a matter of choice. And this week I've come face to face with so many things that I could choose to look at the dark side of it, the negative side of it, or choose to look at the more positive side. And it's a choice at the end of the day. It's a choice for you to get to that next level. Listen to what the universe is bringing you. It gives you signs. It gives you indications. It helps you along all the way. You've just got to open your mind to receiving it.
Exactly. And as you said, it's a choice. It's not that you have to force yourself to just look one way, but also when negative things happen, it's okay to let them happen, to process, but not to stay there. Staying there is a choice. But always,
Exactly.
as I said, to just, okay, I'm in a not good position, or my thoughts are locked in a certain thing. So I'll go out. I go to nature. I'll go to chat with a friend. I'll just do what I know will shift my thoughts. And these little steps, that there is always this one next step, one next better thing. There is always for everyone. And I think that's also when we reread the 4 principles of how to demonstrate prosperity. That's exactly how they put it, right? Because it's where you're at right now with all the resources that are at your disposal. And it's not about lamenting the resources you don't have, because you have. So look at what you have and just be so grateful for it. And yeah, also when I was today, in the morning with my kids and on the run, and I always bless peace. And at one point I was like, maybe I shouldn't always bless peace, because it's kind of, we have peace, right? It's good. And just now it hit so back and said, no, I'm so grateful. It's not self-evident. It's something that we actively want and look at desire and create and live for. And so let's praise everything good in life.
Absolutely. There's nothing like having that gratitude in your heart, and that feeling of gratitude, but really feel it from the tip of your head to the tip of your toes. Really feel how much gratitude you have.
Absolutely.
Okay, so I'll kick off. We'll read the 4 important factors, because I want to ask the question, what have you done this week to implement those 4 factors? So the 4 important factors in demonstrating great prosperity are: 1, remove every impediment and obstacle to the idea of prosperity. So what have you done? Have you focused on the negative, or are you focusing on the prosperity? Think about your week. Create a deep and continuous desire for abundance. And that's exactly what you just said. You maybe take something for granted, but stop and really appreciate it, so that you can create that deep and continuous desire for abundance. It must be all the time. Can't just be in the morning or before you go to bed. It needs to be your waking hours. And then become conscious of more of everything in your mind. And that's it. Be aware of your thoughts and stop the negative ones and flip it. Switch it over to a more positive. Okay? And even if things are difficult, say to yourself, acknowledge, I'm going through a tough time. I've got to make some tough decisions, but what am I going to learn from this?
And all the gains and in potential, like the bud, that just needs to unfold.
And then use what you have, use those thoughts that come into your mind, take them as opportunities. Where can I go with this? And maybe it's nowhere, but at least you've tried. So then the compensation will be large if you follow this pattern. Prosperity is wholly a matter of learning to make the most of what you are and have. The law says that you will receive more only if you use what you have. Use is the key that will unlock the doors of anything you want to do or accomplish. The rule is to have faith in yourself and to work with the law. And that's so important. That rule is to have faith in yourself. Believe that everything is possible. Son, thou art ever with me, and all that I have is thine. That knowledge is the magic box. We get worried and fearful. We turn to this person and that person. We consider this possibility and that possibility, and we get all worn out. And all the time, there is the box, the magic box. What are we going to do with it? So what is he referring to? The magic box is yourself, all right? Your thoughts, tapping into that higher consciousness.
And I think that's very much what's going on now with all this soar of coaching possibilities and personal development and also marketing and like everything. There's so much. So we consider this possibility and that possibility will get, and we turn to this person and that person, and then we get all worn out, which means that all the possibilities are available and also all the person and people, but it's to make a choice what resonates with you. Inside you feel, what do you need and want right now? And then you go for this and stop. Once you know, okay, this is my next step, then stop searching another person, more possibilities, because there will always be. There is an abundance of teachers and inspiring people and possibilities, but you are called to take your next step towards your goal right now. And so don't go further, listen in and do the work within.
So true.
And then rinse and repeat.
Rinse and repeat. Every condition, every experience of life, says Robert Collier, is the result of a mental attitude. We can do only what we think we can do. We can be only what we think we can be. We can have only what we think we can have. Wow.
Yeah.
I need to read that again, because you know what? That is profound. We can do only what we think we can do. So stop limiting yourself. We can be only what we think we can be, and we can have only what we feel and think we can have. What we do, what we are, and what we have all depend on what we think. We can never express anything that we do not first have in mind. The
So
secret
true.
of all power, all success, all riches is in first thinking powerful thoughts, successful thoughts, thoughts of wealth and supply. We must build them in our own minds first. Could we rightly comprehend the mind of man, writes Paracelsus in the 16th century, nothing would be impossible to us upon the earth.
So true. And there is just an example. I've been at a meeting recently, and then I suggested something, and not knowing the history of, this organization, they were like, "Oh no, but we always did it another way." And I said, "Okay, that's good. That's okay. The question is, what do you want?" Then so, no. So there was a lot of resistance, and I didn't even think of the new possibility. And I was just kind of exploring it. So just imagine if we did this. So what's the negative? They're like, oh. And ultimately, a decision was taken that we try this new version, that we update what was. And so I truly believe that great change in how they do things is going to come about. And that's just, so amazing. And it's just about bringing in new people and fresh thoughts. And that's also why diversity is so important, just to have, more perceptions and perspectives. And yet then still you make up your mind. You collect all this, but then once you know, okay, it's time for me to digest it all, to see it, and to make my next step. So from your goal achieved, and that's why everyone here should do thinking into results, from your goal achieved, you think differently than from the current position you are right now. Mm-hmm. And from your goal achieved, after you have signed an agreement, after you stand on stage with 1,000 people, after you already have the millions in your bank, how do you make decisions? And that's how you make decisions now.
Love it. Thank you for that advice, Nadine. So beautiful. Thank you.
Yeah. Yes. So next week we will continue with chapter 5. God loves a prosperous man and woman. I'll add this. and yeah, so meaning that everything is just coming from the divine source, and you are open to tap into it or to resist it. Choice.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you want to look how to, or get some guidance on open that path towards your success, towards fulfilling your dreams, reach out to Jackie and I for thinking into results. And it's just the best decision.
Change your life. Stop being stuck. You're still stuck. There's no reason to be stuck. There's so many opportunities to grow. So reach out. And thank you for all of the support that we do get. We appreciate it. Thanks, Nadine. Have a fabulous weekend.
You too. See you back next week. Same time, same place. Bye.
Bye. Still going?
It is.